Hello, my name is Lauren, and I'm here to introduce you to Exterminatrix. It's a holistic pest control company. It's an environmentally conscious alternative emphasizing IPM and pollinator protection. Let's start off with some basics. What is IPM? It's a strategy that relies on multiple tactics, including accurate ID through scientific knowledge, monitoring, preventative measures, and thresholds to determine when corrective actions are needed. Realistically, a cockroach or a wasp is part of an urban ecosystem. Holistic pest control looks at all of the components as part of the system. Only a human can decide what is a pest. The term environmentally conscious refers to businesses that are aware of the impact it has on its surroundings. Sustainability is our goal. So back to my favorite part, talking about me. Just kidding. I have a BA in environmental science from UCSC and 7+ years of experience. I have achieved my ACE, which is known as an Associates of Entomology, and I've also been very busy working on branding and design. I also am primary funding, but I'm hoping that at this point, this competition might help me out with that. My partner is Rick O'Hara. He is 5 years in the industry, and he's also a rodent and wildlife expert. He has a background in construction and also can fabricate tools, and he's owned a marble and granite business. So he literally is a jack of all trades. Once again, I love talking about myself. That's me, and that's my dad. We used to go on bug hunts when I was a kid. So pretty much we're second generation bug people. He also has agreed to help me out as far as like answering phones, and he has a very wide knowledge. He's worked in the citrus industry in the Central California for decades, and having an entomologist on staff to answer people's questions will definitely make sure that we get our point across. So everything about this is like potential customers. When I go out in public, bugs are my passion. I sit down and I talk to people and I get them all fired up. And pretty much I always am getting new referrals. Anywhere can have a pest problem. It's not above hotels that are really high class or even like, hospital beds, everything. This region is also a very good place for this kind of service. We're local, we are environmentally friendly, and we're community oriented, not to mention all the women entrepreneurs that have come out of this region. I just wanted to show you here how lucrative it is on a national level. $17.4 billion are brought in. Obviously, there is some competition out there. If you look at this graph here, 10.4% of the industry is by Service Master, or known as Terminex. Rollins is also known as Orkin. Part of their size, though, makes them problematic as they're not really able to get to know their customers or offer a high quality service. The Eco and Green have their own problems, for example. Unfortunately, oftentimes they're making false claims, which is really troublesome to me. They claim that botanical sprays do everything, but they don't even kill ants or termites. They only kill on contact, and you need to get to the queen for them to be successful. I literally pulled this off of their website, which I just find horrific. It talks about professional products and techniques not known to the average homeowner. That's pretty demeaning and insulting. What they're code for is synthetics, but they're not really letting people know. I will be doing a straightforward approach. Sometimes a chemical product in the right proportion is what people need to get the job done. And that's pretty much where IPM comes in. True IPM educates and empowers the consumer to make a custom plan for their property and what their needs really are. The other type of people that we have is called traditional exterminators. I call them spray and pray. It's the same service for every single problem that happens. They're large. You come out and you do the same service no matter what the issue is. There is a lot of times secondary poisoning. You can spray flowers, and then a lot of that stuff gets into the watershed. By minimizing that, I think that we're also creating just a better product overall, and once again, customizing it for each person. I've already kind of touched on this a little bit, but what we do better is I'm planning on investing in electric vehicle fleets as I grow to keep CO2 down, selecting biodegradable gloves and packaging that breaks down. Once again, the main thing is getting the environmental footprint lighter. I also want to encourage my consumers to actively engage in this process. If they're open to it, pollinator gardens instead of lawns are amazing, and we can get rid of some of that pollen desert. And then just education and landscaping. You know, some things are actually beneficial, like spiders. I'm happy to remove them if you'd like, but a lot of times they eat stuff like mosquitoes, so we should keep them around. And once again, this industry is very, very complicated to make work. You can't just be good at one thing. You have to be good at, you know, biology, synthetic compounds, how things work together, and be able to put them all together. My dad, once again, is an entomologist. I have my ACE. Rick has been in construction and fabricating for years. So this really makes a hard-hitting team. And then also, once again, I mean, a compassionate, exclusion-based approach to pest nuisances and wildlife is great. And I feel there is a very untapped workforce in women in particular. Not that that's the only people, but they really haven't been utilized. So where will we find customers? Everybody is a potential client. I've already been lucky enough to have Club Zianti sign on a verbal agreement to be my first potential client. It's a historical site and a music venue. So I'm really hoping I can throw a few benefit shows and get the community kind of fired up about what I'm doing. Also, just in general, people are becoming more aware that chemicals are harmful, and accidental poisoning of wildlife has been continuing to increase. My areas that I'm hoping to service are Pacifica to Carmel, along the coast and into the mountains. These areas are still very big on word of mouth and a firm handshake. So I know this slide's a little busy, but just to pull out some facts here, I did a quick pricing breakdown. Each time I start a new visit, I'm going to be making a pretty good chunk of change. And then $50 per month for an annual year equates to about $832 for an average home. On top of that, building practices are switching more and more over to LEED. And that is a sustainable building things, and they can't just put things down. So pretty much the protocol that I'm developing is perfect for that. Also, you know, any restaurant can have issues, and I try to slide a business card when I'm having dinner if I see something that need help. Hotels too, bed bugs are booming right now, even without, like, you know, other things like that. And I have a pheromone monitoring system that can preemptively approach them. I like to stay on top of technology and integrate it in. Pretty much the completed average rodent job runs about $1,000, which is very, very lucrative. The thing about it too is they're banning second generation rodenticides to keep birds of prey and apex predators safe. I always have been on top of this sort of technology. You can do other things for them, like one-way doors, hormonal birth control, and CO2 spring traps. So we can pretty much get this out of the equation entirely. As far as building a client roster and referrals, I want to be plugging things back into the community. So I'm hoping to reward people that give me a successful lead with $5 or $10 business cards to people in the community. By also engaging them, I'm hoping I might even be able to do my service in exchange for business cards so that we're all benefiting each other and collaborating. Free raffle service is another way I was thinking about doing community outreach and getting my brand recognition. I bet all this money that I'm trying to raise is going to go mostly into marketing. Once I get the phones to ring, I have no doubt I'll be able to be a success. Pretty much my growth model, if I do decide to continue to get bigger, is I want to build in pods. Thanks, 2020. I want a manager, a rodent and trapping expert, and 2 to 3 technicians, keeping everything small and tight in groups. You have to look at each technician bringing in $150,000 to $200,000 annually. That's what it costs to run a route. And once again, if this is a sustainable model, I want everything to be high quality. It's not about making the most money or like the biggest thing going. As far as expansion and growth, I once again am not in the rush to do that at all. This model will work in new locations. I'm going to be focusing on developing good protocol to train people as one of my main things, because once again, you can't just step into this and do a good job without a very vast background of information. It does have franchise potential, but that's once again way further down the road. First, I need to establish where I'm at. My father and me can also rotate and wear many hats and the roles as we develop and grow. My timeline pretty much involves launch in 2022, and then I'm also going to do a founding client promo, first 50 for 50. I'm going to finish my website currently and work on logo and copyright. And I hope to hire my first technician and possibly get my electric vehicle in the first year. This slide simply just shows that this is lucrative. If I get 52 clients, one a week, I will earn $43,000 approximately, just easily by doing that. My funding, I would like about 60K. I have 25 currently. I'm planning on doing a low interest loan through friends and family, Kiva, which sometimes is even zero. And then I found out recently, if you can get grants for hiring veterans, and they're going to be excellent at this sort of trade, they have just the background and mindset that this will be very successful for them. My expenses, once again, marketing is going to be huge. I know that already. I already have a lot of this equipment and products. And once again, I can buy it as I grow. So I can really start small and work my way up as I can take in business. My main thing is employee retention. I want each person to have what they need to succeed. And we can work with certain sort of, challenges that they have. And I want to empower people to step into leadership, economic prosperity and profit sharing. I want to reward good behavior and loyalty, and also people being able to make a career, not just a job. Let's shatter some glass ceilings. Obviously, this will be a great place for women to thrive and take their skill sets with them further into the world. It's not strictly, of course, for them. I will be hiring veterans and people of color, but it's the whole thing about just making a structure and a company culture that works and values people and the environment rather than just providing a simple service.
Okay, your time is now up.
Thank you. I'm ready for questions. Here I am.
You.
Yeah.
So we're going to stop the share.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, I love the idea of the women in business and the veterans and all that. What do you estimate to be the average training time for someone who has not been in the industry, starting from zero? And how much time do you think that's going to take?
Oh, okay. So there is like a couple new training programs that are coming out that provide the operator's license. So you don't need the full certifications initially. Within weeks, you can take that test. And just so long you're under the supervision of somebody with a branch 2 or operator's license, you can start to train people. And honestly, I'm going to be grilling them down. Wrong persons on this case would be very detrimental. I need the right people that are wanting a career. So I'd rather wash someone out right away, get them started, pay for their initial training. And then if they're not going to cut it, get out. So we want good people that want to do this.
Excellent. Thank you. The other question I had is, are you absolutely in love with that name? Because being from the San Francisco Bay Area, it has a much different meaning up there. And I'm very concerned, as someone who's worked with hundreds of small businesses, the name can make or break you. So I really want
I hear that. I'm open to an extent, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be slightly provocative. Literally, though, what do you call a female exterminator? What is the verbiage change? Yes, that's literally an exterminatrix too. Like if you look at any sort of thing like that, that's all that is meant by that name. It's literally if you look at other word choices, so it's just a female exterminator. And yeah, it is a little edgy. So also too, I want to challenge people, and I don't know if you noticed my logo as well. It's very unique. I will be simplifying that just to a crown. It's not I'm also thinking I can brand out down the road. This would be me personally. And if I'm starting to get successful and get more clientele, then I can pivot. So as a female single operator, initially, I'll keep the name. And then, yes, if I franchise or move out, I can definitely soften.
Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
Lauren, I understand that your company will have much greater expertise on tap, but is there one particular product or service advantage you have beyond just better expertise?
Yeah, a lot of people are behind. I don't want to talk too negatively, but like technology is cutting edge now. You can game cameras up, you can do steamers. There's so many new types of traps, and you need the funding to be able to get them. But I'm planning on investing heavily in that because I don't really want to use chemicals if I can seal things up and get in there and figure out what the problem is. And that's the thing. A lot of people aren't investing and they're using old school methods, and they need to be updated. There's no reason to be putting this much product out. It's ridiculous.
Thank you.
So it seems to me that the commercial market is really different from the residential market, and you seem to be pitching yourself as serving both. And I think you kind of need to prioritize. Can you discuss that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be who's interested in the service. Hotel chains, they're pretty much waiting until they get an issue, right? And then they go in and they have people spray. I'm hoping to develop like another side pitch specifically for hotels, for example, where I explain my protocol and the cutting edge technology that I'm going to be using, which are like little bait stations that go underneath the beds. And then you can just check the monitors. Same with restaurants. A lot of times they are just kind of used to what's been going on, and they're not aware that I can have a spray, for example, that I can put over grease and it'll break down like grease and mold and stuff. So there's not as much roach food on that. And then steaming too actually works really, really good. So I can actually approach each one with a listed protocol, and I'll probably be developing a similar slide deck and pitch for each industry so that I can really pivot. And anytime somebody wants a service, I can customize it and step in and hopefully make it lucrative for me.
We have 1 minute left for Q&A.
I had one more question. How long
Yes.
do you expect the average diagnosis to take? Like going in, this is the scale of your problem, this is how long it'll take to fix it. It might take 2 or 3 visits or something like that?
It really depends. Once again, with IPM, I'm going to allow people that are more sensitive to do, like if they only want botanicals, heck yeah, that's going to take a couple of visits and it's going to be very extensive. If people are more what I call a clean out and they're more comfortable with a little bit of synthetics initially, and then we monitor and move back, that you can kind of get a control over 1 or 2 issues. It really depends on the client, the level of infestation, and what plan we pick to move forward. That's once again where all this expertise comes in, because if you're allergic or you don't like something, I'm going to work with you. You're the boss. This is your home. I'm serving you. So
Excellent. Thank you.
yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Delgado. I'm here representing Agape Brands Corp, the company, and Pizza's Chimichurri pizza sauce, the product. Agape Brands Corp was created on the need to bring to market an idea of a new product, Pizza's Chimichurri pizza sauce, to the condiment and hot sauce industry, especially to fulfill an opportunity there is in the pizza market as Agape Brands sees it. I'm going to share a little bit of my past experience. I have vivid memories of my teen years going out with my friends to the local pizza parlors in our area. Back then and now, they serve this spicy sauce called chimichurri. In my early 20s, I moved to Santa Cruz. One of the things that I missed the most was enjoying the pizza with chimichurri sauce. At the time, my only options to spice my pizza were crushed pepper and a couple of hot sauces in the market. Sorry, no chimichurri sauce. Years later, my mom gave to the closest family members a recipe for chimichurri sauce, and we had it. In our house, we're pizza lovers. At my previous jobs, often I will take pizza with chimichurri sauce for lunch. My co-workers will ask me to share the sauce and the recipe as well. The second time I was asked to share the recipe, I apologized and I said, sorry, I cannot share it anymore. That night I told Fidelia, I don't think we're sharing the recipe anymore. I might think of something to market it and sell it. I did not know where to start or how to start, but the idea remained. Later on, I learned of Pajaro CDC. It was an epiphany for me. I registered to their entrepreneur program. When finished, with Fidelia's help, we started testing some recipes. With the help of Holiday graphic designer, we started working on the label designs. We're ready, I went back to Vinicio Vires, who had been helping me with the process, as well as with Cesario Ruz, who had been helping me with all the kitchen requirements. All and every single requirement needed to be fulfilled and covered in order to sell. At this time, we're only a team of two, Fidelia and I. Officially, we started selling on January 2nd of this year, 2021. In the process, it has been a great experience and a motivating challenge every step of the way. And that I'll be sharing with you on the next set of slides. We're starting here with the pizza market in the US. And the numbers, according to pizza.com, says that 3 billion pizzas are sold yearly in the United States. 46.26 billion US dollars there is in sales in the pizza restaurants per year. There's about 78,092 pizza restaurants in the US. Can we move to the next slide, please? These are some of our competitors, but we can move to the next slide where it explains the salsa market by the numbers. The hot sauce production in the United States, it's at a 1.5 billion United States dollars in 2021, according to ibisworld.com. The hot sauce market will reach 3.77 billion United States dollars by 2026, according to Fortune Business Insight. Can we move to the next slide, please? These are on this picture. It's some of our competitors and the opportunity as well. And for pizza, at this time, you can find some hot sauces, and they might be good and do the work. With pizzas, chimichurri pizza sauce, you have the heat, plus a complementary delicious and special flavor without affecting much the original flavor of the pizza itself. Can we move to the next one, please? By Agape Brands. Give me a second. Why at this time? Why now? This idea was in the building mode for years. There was not a clue on how to start or where to start until everything fell in place. And yet there's always something new to discover or to try it or make a change to make this process work. And we're still in the process of discovering on how to go to the market and how to sell. Can we move to the next slide, please? This is the presentation of the logo and the product itself without seeing the finished product. So this is just like the trade name, the register name. Can we go to the next slide, please? And in the end, this is the final product that we came up with. This is the presentation of the bottle of the salsa. Can we go to the next one? At this time, we're only a team of two. My wife, Fidelia, and myself. Both of us combined, we have over 40 years of experience, as explained here on the type of jobs that we have done over the years, and that are needed, and it influences what we've been working on it on the process. Thank you. Can we?
3 minutes left for your presentation. 3 minutes left.
Okay. Thank you. Can we continue? This the revenue model, how it works. On one side, what I see, it's an average index cost, which is at this point at 218. And on the other side, we see, and the way I'll see it, it's as an index selling price, which at this point it's 4.75. Right now, it's an average of 2.17 times the cost. And the goal into the future is to drop the cost to an average of 190 and the selling price to $5, which will make it at 2.73 times from the cost to the sale. And that'll be our revenue model going forward, and hoping we'll reach these goals. Can we go to the next model, please? As I said in the previous picture, these are some of our competition in the market. It's Crash Pepper, Crystal Hot Sauce, Tabasco, Yucateco Habanero, French Red Hot, to mention a few. And can we go to the next screen, please? Or milestones. All the process have been a learning experience, and many are very important, but these are like the most important ones. And in April 2019, Pizzas acquired the registered brand Pizzas in the United States. In September 2019, we got the registration of the trademark in Mexico. And in March 2020, Pizzas formalized the trademark in Canada. And the other important date will be the starting selling date, which was January 2021. And now today, which is the Startup Challenge Monterey.
You now have 1 minute left for your presentation.
All right, thank you. Can we move to the next one? The go-to-market. At this time, we're selling on Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. We're working with one distributor, MBA Wholesale, and he just told me that we're about 20 stores in the Los Baños area, San Jose area, Milpitas area. Retail stores, we're selling on one in Watsonville and one in Santa Cruz. The pizza parlors, due to the COVID-19, we have not been able to offer to them, but he brought the idea to come to the new presentation, which will be the circuit. That's a new opportunity going forward. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. The glossary. The name Pizzas is a portmanteau of pizza and sauce. The name came on the idea of making an invitation of its use on the meaning of the name itself.
The presentation is now done. Your time is up.
All right, thank you.
We now have 5 minutes for Q&A.
All right, thank you.
Mary Jo, you have our videos disabled.
Sorry. Let me turn them on.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you considered as a point of distribution farmers markets?
Farmers market, we started selling at the farmers market. Oh. And those were the first point of sales. We scheduled pretty much the first month we scheduled two weekends. The second month we scheduled 1 weekend, and it didn't get any traction, didn't get much traction. And so I have to come up with the expense, the farmers market. So that pushed me to look at other opportunities who I already have been looking at, which was Amazon. And as for example, on Amazon per month, I paid the same as I was paying per time at the farmers market. And it doesn't take me any time along with the time that I spent at the farmers market. It's the time that I'm spending right now on production time when I go to the kitchen. Right. So I made a switch on that to make it work money wise and to come up with better numbers. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I want to say congratulations. I love that it's in Canada and Mexico. That's just amazing. And getting, I sell books on Amazon, and that's a terrific channel once it kind of fires up. So all the best.
Yes, when I started seeing this, and actually what it pushed me to look into the registration of the brand in Mexico and in Canada was the size of the market that I saw in the United States itself. And when I looked for something like this product anywhere on this area, on the 3 regions, I didn't see anything. I come up with, when I did my research on online, I was able to see a couple of sauces that will, invite people to use it on pizza. But I saw the opportunity for the name itself to be an inviting brand just by the name itself. So that's when I said, okay, I gotta protect it. And when I started looking for the name on all the social media platforms, and I saw it was available, I started grabbing all those at the same time. So it was not just the trademark, but on the social media platforms, all those are taken under pizzas.
Okay.
So just pizza as a brand, So I saw that opportunity. So that's why I decided to do this move.
We have 2 minutes left for Q&A. 2 minutes left.
More questions?
So I realize that COVID-19 makes it hard to develop the partnerships with pizza parlors, but can you discuss your efforts in that area and any traction that you have with pizzerias as partners?
Before the COVID-19, and when I was in the process of producing the salsa, not in the market yet, I approached a pizza place in Santa Cruz, Pizza My Heart, and I just got their business card. I said, this is going to be one of the places that I'm going to come and offer them, either for them to use it at the place or just put it for sale for the customers. And so that was in place of what I was going to do when I had the product in my hands. But then COVID-19 came, and I had to go through the whole process of, bringing it up to the market. And then it just happened that I couldn't continue with that process. But that's going forward. That's something that I'm gonna move in the future to do.
Okay, thanks.
Time is now up for Q&A.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So my name is Alyssa Rodriguez. Thank you for having me. I'm the founder of Paradox Point. I, like many others during the COVID pandemic, lost my job. It left me feeling anxious about what my next plan was. Right after losing my job, I found out we were pregnant. Since the qualifying round of the Startup Challenge, I'm happy to say I've given birth to a healthy baby boy who has become my main motivator. Instead of continuing to apply to jobs just to make a paycheck, I caught the entrepreneurial bug and decided to take this chance and pursue something I'm actually passionate about while putting me in a position to be able to give back to my community. What I'm bringing to the business table is Paradox Point. Paradox Point is an environmentally friendly food truck park, a bar, an event space, and a local backyard hangout. It's created for the frequenting local family and entertainment craving tourist who's hungry, has disposable money, and wants a one-stop eco-friendly shop for food, drinks, and entertainment. What's our secret sauce? We're open 7 days a week with fun events every month. We support a variety of local businesses, and we're the only food park that addresses limiting the carbon footprint of these businesses that use gas and diesel-powered generators. So, what are the problems our community members and tourists have? Indecisive on where to eat, being bored with lack of local events to attend pre and post COVID. Speaking of COVID, there was a lack of outdoor space for businesses impacted by the restrictions such as barber shops and fitness instructors. And our community is faced with the pollution caused by mobile food trucks at farmers markets and fairs. Now let's look at each problem and how we solve them. How many of you have had this conversation with a friend or family member? Someone asks, what do you want to eat? To which is responded with, I don't know, what do you want to eat? And this just goes back and forth because neither wants to pick a place in fear of the other not liking the decision. So how do we solve this food indecisiveness? Now, before I change to the next slide, I hope you ate breakfast because this next slide will have your mouth salivating and your stomach grumbling. Right now, we have 25 different food trucks and temporary food facilities on our food lineup. Some of these food options provided include steak and shrimp plates, Philly cheesesteaks, tacos, floated baked potatoes and roasted corn, pizza, meatballs, and a dessert called bomboloni. The food options available are sure to satisfy the pickiest and indecisive of eaters. Bored, we're solving that problem. Boredom doesn't exist at Paradox Point. Every month we have multiple events going on, including but not limited to movie nights, fitness classes, local shelter pet adoptions, donation drives for our community, art hops, and live music. You'll want to stay updated with our calendar so you don't miss out on the fun. For example, we have community-inspired events like when the program is going on at Pebble Beach, we go all out. Golf-inspired everything, including the event being live streamed, putt-putt competitions for prizes, and private events with celebrity and athlete appearances. And with celebrities like Bill Murray participating, our movie nights are sure to be inspired. During the purple tier of COVID, there was a lack of outdoor space for businesses impacted by the restrictions, including businesses such as barbershops and fitness instructors. This caused businesses like these to struggle and make a tough decision on whether or not they're going to need to close down forever. According to Monterey County Weekly, there's no official count of how many businesses in Monterey County have closed or even downsized due to the pandemic. But in the early months of the shutdown, staff at the Monterey County Workforce Development Board placed phone calls to 1,000 businesses, and roughly 10% of those proprietors said they were closing down shop for good. Paradox Point would have been and will be in the future, if needed, an outdoor location for these businesses to continue, as well as providing a spot for socially distanced entertainment for those tired of being stuck indoors at home. And the last problem we're faced with is the carbon footprint due to food trucks. 60% of licensed food trucks are gasoline or diesel generators, or use gasoline or diesel generators. These generators typically run for 10 hours or more per day, 300 days per year. That's 14 million pounds of carbon dioxide every hour, besides resulting in a high output of greenhouse gas emissions, particulate matter, nitrous oxide, and carbon monoxide. Another pollutant caused by these generators is noise. Our solution is solar powered generators. We require every food truck that typically operates on gas or diesel powered generators to use one of our solar powered ones. Not only are they nearly silent, they reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% and smog causing nitrogen oxide pollution by 95%, thereby taking the equivalent of 200 cars off the road. The graph on the right shows the levels of air pollution caused by gas or diesel powered generators versus using solar power, shown in purple. We are fortunate to have the ability to solve multiple problems of the community. We like to say that we're the chameleon of businesses. This is what makes us more attractive than our competitors. Food trucks on their own who find a place to park and do business are our competitors, as well as farmers markets. This is how food trucks and mobile businesses used to find community members and tourists in the past. Now they have the option of providing their goods and services 7 days a week in an eco-friendly, high traffic and event-filled location. So let's talk about market size. The market size of the food truck industry is expected to increase 2.4% and generate $1.3 billion in 2021. In the US, the industry has grown 3.9% per year on average between 2016 and 2021. The industry in the US has increased faster than the consumer goods and services sector overall, and expected to grow by the end of 2025 at a compound annual growth rate of 5.19%. With the market size increasing, this means more food options to become available for our customers. This business is operated by mobile businesses paying a daily space rental fee. During special events, guests pay for tickets to attend, and we generate revenue from our permanent bar. Our startup costs are as follows. We have a soft opening before renovations this summer with a low startup cost to include the cost of permits, licensing, and marketing. Through money generated, self-funding, and crowdfunding, we will begin to tackle these renovations listed and will proceed with a grand opening later in the summer or early fall. As you can see, some of these renovations include getting those solar power generators, a turf that go underneath the tables and seatings, a renovated recycled Connex container to be transformed into the bar and office space, a stage, and other miscellaneous decor.
You now have 3 minutes left for your presentation.
For year one, estimated rental revenue generated is $400,000. After expenses such as payroll, rent, and the renovations mentioned, year one net rent revenue is estimated at $150,000, while estimated collective revenue by the mobile businesses is $1.1 million. This is half of the amount food trucks would make attending farmers markets due to less opportunity, referring to frequency and time. This brings our year one estimated total combined to $1.25 million. Year two's estimated total revenue is $1.4 million, followed by $1.45 million year three. This includes the 3.9% per year increase in market value of food trucks, while there will be little to no renovations year 2 and 3. To date, we have a highly visible and high traffic location in Seaside off of Broadway and Del Monte. I have an email and social media account for the business where I'm connecting with local food trucks and vendors while gaining a following of potential customers. And we will continue to use strategic social media marketing and word of mouth to network and grow our customer base. Paradox Point works because not only is it like no other business already existing on the peninsula, we bring together the community for many positive reasons. From current followers and potential customers, I have received a lot of great feedback and excitement over the possibility of what Paradox Point can be, and I hope I have convinced you too. That's it for my presentation. Thank you for your time and this opportunity. I hope to see you soon to share a bite and hang out at Paradox Point.
Thank you, Alyssa. We will now hear from our judges, and they have 5 minutes.
So I'll start off. I enjoyed your presentation, but I was a little confused about how much traction you have so far. So you've secured a site. Have you opened? Are there improvements to the site that are required? Have you made those improvements? That sort of thing.
Okay, so I have secured a site. However, right now it's just a blank slate. So, however, with the soft opening that I was referring to, it would just be essentially getting the trucks to be on the lot without those renovations. So, yes, we do have a site that is that I'm currently leasing right now. We haven't started yet because there's currently a moratorium in Seaside regarding food truck use. However, that should be resolved in June. So June is looking to be the actual start date. But yes, as far as for businesses, we have 25 confirmed food trucks and temporary food facilities that would like to be a part of our rotating food lineup. And then we've kind of, with my partnerships with them, just kind of been using my social media and their social medias to kind of promote the opening in June.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. I didn't see in the expenses things like restrooms, security, trash removal, and as part of the permit process, all of those things would need to be addressed, and all of those, like especially with the restrooms, have pretty heavy duty monthly recurring expenses. So how is that going to be handled?
Yeah, so with that, when we do the renovated Connex container, that will include bathrooms for our customers as well. So that's the cost of that container that I'm talking about is about $35,000, which would include the bar, the office space, and restrooms for our guests. Yeah, so when I talked about the expenses on one of the slides, I try not to do too many numbers and just throw them out at you and spew them out. But yes, that for definitely the bathrooms, that's all within the one chunk of some being that $35,000 for at least that part of the renovation.
And so when it's renovated and there's a bar in there, do you have an alcohol license or a licensee that's bringing their license to the site?
So that would be part of the use permit that I'm acquiring. That includes just the use that I'd like to do for the lot, which is the food truck part, and including the alcohol licensing.
Alcohol licenses can be between $150,000 and $300,000.
From what I was told from the oh, okay, yeah. So for the first year, we might not have the bar part, because again, with the renovations, it's kind of going to be slowly with money generated and crowdfunding and self-funding. So that's kind of slowly being renovated. So yeah, the first year, we're not looking to most likely have that bar. In the first year, though, we do have a couple of mobile bar businesses that have their own licensing that we can then use to kind of use them on the lot as the bars until we get our permanent bar.
Great. And how about staffing? Being open 7 days a week. Somebody's got to clean those toilets. Somebody's got to remove that trash. I mean, is there a maintenance crew? Or I don't want you doing it. A new baby boy is a lot of work.
Yes. So, I mean, with this business, we don't need too many staff members. However, there will at least be one other site manager, and then two different, I guess, two different people for cleaning and just kind of, again, more site oversee. So but that's also part of the renovation part of the revenue, I guess, subtraction when it comes to payroll.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, my name is Mike Durant, and my partners and I have a big problem. We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth. And while both our locals and our visitors find endless activities in the daytime, at night, we're thirsty. We're looking for something to go do when the sun goes down. You see, this is Pacific Grove 100 years ago, California's last dry town. But times have changed, and this is Pacific Grove today. We're a town of almost 16,000 people and an extended population of about 32,000 people. We're bustling with activities and entertainment and host of festivals, car shows, major golf tournaments, food shows, and so much more. But with all of those activities and everybody coming to enjoy their time here, we have no breweries and no tap houses. You know, the places that attract people after a long day of golf or a day out on the bay, a place that they can go have a sip of beer and enjoy some music, games, and most of all, each other. So we got to thinking a lot about that, and what we found was really encouraging. You see, 68% of Californians drink, and about 40% of those prefer beer. 40% of beer drinkers prefer craft beer, and to the tune of about 25 gallons per year. That comes to $3 million, and that's from our local population alone. So what's the problem? Simple. With 3 million reasons why, and millions more coming every year, we have no breweries and we have no tap houses. Well, we've come up with the solution, the Saucy Otter Brewing Company. Let me take you back a couple of years to the Steinbeck Homebrew Festival, where a group of friends and I were approached by a local craft beer blogger. She wanted to know a lot about our passion for brewing and what we were going to plan on doing with that in the future. After that conversation, a few friends and I got together at a local tap house, or at a different tap house. And after that, after a few drinks, we came up with the Saucy Otter. We found our inspiration came from our travels to Belgium. And you'll quickly find out that in Belgium, there are more beers than there are people. Every town has a brewery, and every brewery is a big part of that town's culture. They provide a place for their friends and their families to get together and spend some time with each other. They're craft brewers that aren't looking to take over the entire universe. They are people that are passionate about what they do, and they want to give that to their friends. Well, we want to take our passion for crafting incredible beers and the love of our community and provide a sanctuary where locals and visitors alike can gather and enjoy some great music, dancing, playing games, and most of all, each other, all while drinking a locally crafted beverage. I'm going to pass the mic over to my partner, Jimena, who's going to talk a little bit about our vision, the market opportunities, and a little bit about our competition out there. Jimena?
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everybody. We are so excited to share this venture with you because we know how successful it'll be. And let me tell you why. Top of the list, grains to glass, farm to table. Craft beer has exploded in popularity, and we are pouring fresh artisan craft beer brewed on site. And a small rotating menu means low food waste and lower costs. Next, the founding partners love going to concerts and music festivals. And although this isn't a performance venue, today's live streaming technology allows us to bring some of the magic of live shows into the Saucy Otter. Nobody else is doing this in our area. And we've talked to a lot of people who are really excited about this. We're outfitting the brewery with movable tables to give us some dancing space. Trust us, the beer will flow. Partnerships is our middle name. We intend to get our name, our logo, our brand out into the world with the many collaborations we've already got lined up on our plate. Moreover, to encourage repeat customers, we will offer a mug club membership, which includes a personalized mug hanging on the wall, t-shirt, invites to exclusive events, and more. We also have many other fun community building activities in the hopper that we don't have time to cover right now, but we'll keep a steady stream of customers. Now, who is the target market? First, our locals. In 2019, the City of Pacific Grove commissioned a market analysis and found career-oriented and social connectors as the most common groups in PG. These are people who want to go out and share a beer with friends, happy hour, hobnob. Second, visitors. Annually, there are over 500,000 overnight stays or heads in beds, with an estimated 3 million drawn by the aquarium, as well as a dozen large-scale events, AT&T Pro-Am, Car Week, Good Old Days. That's a lot to capitalize on. And many are just walking around and want an easy place to have a bite and a drink and regroup with their families, with their friends, versus a high commitment sit-down restaurant, which is all we have in downtown PG. Competition. How about the competition? Well, as you can see, there are 6 existing microbreweries in the area, but none in PG, which is the one in the circle. And we'll turn the competition into an opportunity by creating a Peninsula Microbrewery Passport. Dedicated craft brew drinkers will be enticed to visit the new kid on the block. Widening the geographical lens adds another 9 breweries, which adds yet another opportunity with microbrewery tours. Again, introducing our venue to countless people beyond our immediate market. Now I hand this back off to Mike, who will tell you more about our team, marketing, and finances. Take it away, Mike.
Thanks, Savannah. So we've talked a lot about the problem. We've offered a great solution. We've talked about the market. We've talked about the competitors in there. So let's talk a little bit about our team. Our ownership team consists of 3 people, myself, Jimena, and our friend John Papandreopoulos, and you can call him JP. Together, we have combined 15 years of small business ownership, 25 years of retail and production management experience, 24 years homebrewing experience, 15 years marketing and sales with large brand names such as Patagonia and Cool. We also have a consulting team helping us focus on the 3 areas that we need to be the strongest in, including our beer, our food, and the environment we're providing for you, our customers. We've been doing a lot of research on the industry and building business models, our come-to-market strategy, and we've looked at the most important factor of any business, the financials. So when we talk about the funding, the Saucy Otter is a direct sales company. We're going to sell beer to our customers under our roof to start off with. We'll focus on gaining repeat customers, like Jimena said, through ideas like the mug clubs. But we're also going to really focus on the tourism board and taking advantage of all these great activities that are coming to Pacific Grove. We'll participate in the local events, and we're already working very strongly with our Chamber of Commerce. As we continue to grow.
3 minutes left for your presentation, 3 minutes.
Okay. As we continue to grow, we'll plan on adding more capacity, which will let us expand our brand into restaurants, tap houses, and of course, participating in more of these local events. Our come to market strategy is pretty common among all, but we're going to focus on a little bit of different things here. Of course, we'll do social media, print ads, and radio ads, but we really want to focus on the partnerships and on opening events. As we'll talk to you about later, we do plan on opening for a pre-opening party at Good Old Days. We plan on working with the homebrewing community because there is a lot of us out there, and providing competitions leading up to the opening event. But most important is the financials. And this is where it starts getting really exciting for us. We're going to focus on the gross profit for now. These are your cost to bring your goods to the market, not the fixed costs. As you can see, in a restaurant, it's a pretty tough business. 35% is your gross profit. When you add beer and wine sales into that, that can improve up to 40 to 45%. But when you make your own beer, your gross profit is at 55%, which is extremely powerful to a new company. So when we look at our first few years, like almost every company out there, we don't plan on making money our first year. We have a lot of investments to make, primarily in our team. We need to make sure that we're ready to take care of our friends and family and the community. But the really exciting part is in 2022, we forecast profitability and an increased growth in profit over the next couple of years. So these numbers are pretty conservative. And because the numbers look so good, our ownership team is putting skin in the game. We're committing $170,000 of our own money into this. So why are we here? Of course, we're seeking $230,000 of funds. What is that for? Well, we want to focus on getting our kitchen equipment, the bar equipment, the brew house, dining and decoration so we can open the doors. That's the money that we're providing. The $230,000 is to ensure that we have a strong backing, that we can survive those toughest years, those first couple of years. We'll have labor, the cost of goods, equipment, marketing, getting out there. It's going to be expensive, and we're going to need some help to get that passed. So
you have 1 minute left for your presentation. 1 minute left.
Perfect. So what have we been doing? Well, in 2020, we formed the LLC and created the Saucy Otter Brewing Company. The most important part is a group of our ownership has gotten together and purchased the building on Lighthouse in a perfect location with a ton of parking. We've begun the architecture plans and the engineering, and we're planning to start the construction later this year. 2022, we'll open the doors with our first growth coming in 2023. We are so excited moving forward, and we can't wait to find the right partners to help bring this vision to the finish line. And usually we'd finish this presentation by pouring a cold beer and offering a toast to this great opportunity. But until we can invite you into our doors, cheers. Thanks very much for your time. We really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're now going to let the judges have five minutes for some questions and answers.
Mike, this is Pat Riley. Do you have your logo copyrighted and applied for trademark registration?
We've got the trademark. The trademark has been submitted, and we'll hear, I think, within about 3 months whether that's approved or not. I did the logo.
Okay. Well, you want to assign it to the corporation.
What's that? I'm sorry. We did. Yeah, we did assign the trademark to the corporation, okay. But I created it.
Okay. My last question is, I understand your placement's ideal and your marketing is enthusiastic. What are your product differentiations? I love beer, by the way.
I'm sorry.
What's the product?
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Much better.
Product differentiation. What's going to be different and better about your beer?
So one of the great things about a really small brewery is we get to rotate beers all the time. We're brewing in 2-barrel batches, which means it's about six kegs per batch of beer. What that means is we are going to keep up with market trends. All our ingredients will be fresh and really high quality. And those will be consistently changing, which brings people back to see what we're coming up with next.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I really like the idea. I think PG could use a craft brewery. It's too bad you couldn't bring samples, but
come on over.
Tell us about the licensing and regulation and getting, because PG can be a difficult place in that respect.
Absolutely. So we actually have we had a zone hearing on this, and everything passed, no problems. So that was very good. I'm going to move slightly because my computer is going to die. So we have applied for our license. It's a type 23 small beer manufacturing license. The town has approved everything for us to start this up, and we are now working with the ABC. We have submitted the applications, and we're just in the process of waiting for it all to go through.
And I would add that the city of PG is actually very supportive. There's a whole revitalization going on in downtown. There's new developments. They're eager for this to happen. So we are getting support from the city.
In fact, the Chamber of Commerce approached us to help us find buildings and really push this through the city.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear more about silent disco nights.
Oh my God, they're so fun.
Gosh, Jimena has to tell you.
It's really fun. Everyone gets a headphone. You could get headphones, and there's 3 or 4 channels that you can tune into, and so you're dancing outside. It's actually quiet because all the music is in the headphones, and you can tell who is on your channel by the rhythms of the people's dancing. And then you can also have really good conversations outside of it because it's quiet. There's no background noise. It's really fun.
And imagine the draw. If you're someone walking by and you look inside and there are all these people that are just getting funky, it's a lot of fun. We actually saw these at festivals, and they are an immediate draw for people.
I love it. I think that's adorable. And the other thing I think is so strong is the name, Saucy Otter. And it does lend itself not only to, like you're saying, the mugs and all that, but merch. Little otters with little beer mugs and all that sort of stuff. If it's going to be a family thing and you're out for the night drinking beer, it's nice to have some loot to take home. So,
and imagine teaming up with the aquarium that is all about otters in this area and the Saucy Otter. And what a way to open up to the tourists coming into town.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well done.
And, you mentioned an otter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just have to, I'm going to share my screen with you for just a second because we have been playing with this. Let's see here. So, our Saucy Otter holding the beer mug.
Oh, that's so cute. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Where does food enter into the mix?
So with a type 23 license and the zoning that we have in Pacific Grove, we have to have a brick and mortar restaurant. So as much as we just wanted to bring food trucks or have a food cart, we had to have a restaurant. But like Jimena said, we want to focus on a small amount. We don't want people to sit there and take 20 minutes going through selections. So we're thinking about really quick hand bites, things like street tacos, grilled cheese. We're festival people, which means you wake up on beer and grilled cheese for $5. It's that's where the food kind of comes in, and doing small amounts will allow us to continue to keep it fresh. Going to farmers markets and other places where we can include the community more, provide a benefit for them that helps us provide something to our customer.
Yeah.
Time is now up for Q&A.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, judges. We are Red Engine Rides. Red Engine Rides is a fire engine company. Hold on here, little technical difficulties. There we go. Red Engine Rides is a fire engine company owned and operated by local firefighters. Mind you, we're the only fire engine company on the Monterey Bay Peninsula that will be available for rides, tours, birthday parties, and private events. We're the perfect activity for not only tourists, but our local community members as well. Being a large mobile business, we'll be seen everywhere and anywhere we go. How's this all made possible, you say? Well, let me introduce you to Team Red Engine Rides.
Hey guys, I'm Trevor Page. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer. I have a marketing degree and I'm a sales and event manager in my day job.
Hey everyone, Corey McVeigh, Chief Operations Officer, local firefighter with Monterey and Boulder Creek Fire Departments.
And I'm Raul Pentoa, CEO of Red Engine Rides, local community outreach director for the Monterey Firefighters Association and local firefighter here on the peninsula. The problem that we see as an opportunity is that 2020 was a lost year. Canceled vacations, missed celebrations, and anniversaries really created a pent-up demand to make up for that lost time and create new, wonderful experiences. And boy, do we have the solution for them. Our custom 1970 American LaFrance fire engine with bench seating for 10 and an amazing sound system is surely to get people up and out of their houses to create new memories and put smiles on everyone's faces. Who are our customers, you ask? Well, check this out. According to a market data survey done by the CVB, in 2019, 4.6 million tourists visited Monterey with an average income of over $120,000. Over half of them were married, and many of them traveled with kids, and had an average daily expenditure of $455. Now, most of those customers did whale watching, and then from there on down, they visited wineries, did guided tours, and food and wine events. But out of that 4.6 million tourists, we're targeting that 25% that travel with kids, which is over 1 million potential customers, and the 39% that purchase activities, which is almost 500,000 customers. Now, how are we going to reach them, you say? Well, pay attention closely. We're going to capitalize on our social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram, but more importantly, create real relationships with our local concierge and hotel staffs who are frontline customer workers with referrals. Yelp, TripAdvisor, we're on it. And build strategic partnerships with wineries, breweries, maybe even team up with past year Startup Challenge winners, the Monterey Bay food tours, to expand their territories. And we'll definitely have some specific routes in mind during our tours. Did you know that 70% of people who come to visit Monterey travel down Cannery Row? You could bet your bottom dollar we're going to be traveling down that road a lot. Our competition, we're going to blow our competition out of the water by providing a fun, unique experience never before seen in Monterey. Mind you, we're the only game in town that you're going to be able to ride in a fire truck or rent it for a private event or birthday party. We're going to take advantage that we're a large outdoor mobile business primed for coming out of a pandemic. We're a giant billboard with a great sound system. You're not only going to see us coming, but you're going to hear us coming. And what's better than driving in a fire engine than with real firefighters? Now I'm going to turn it over to Corey and Trevor to give you the play-by-play of how all this is going to be made possible.
Thanks, Raul. Our plan to get this business underway is to focus on a scenic ride, which starts in downtown Monterey, continues through Pacific Grove, and along the beautiful Monterey coastline. Next, we're going to have a soft opening we're offering to friends and family so that we can conduct a survey to help us better determine pricing, logistics, and how to maximize the customer experience. Next, we're going to offer rides to local concierges, the CVB, as well as local influencers, all of whom can have a dramatic impact on our business by way of referrals. Next, we're going to expand with brewery and winery tours, where we can show our guests exactly where to go, what to order, and the things they can do while they're there. Lastly is a birthday party package where we bring the fire engine to you, complete with custom fire helmets, badges, games for the kids to play, as well as a promotional package for all of our guests so we can really focus on our local demographic. Here you can see some of our potential future riders who've reached out to us organically on our social media following within the last 45 days. This ranges from local influencers, the CVB, local businesses, as well as travel concierges. All of them have a tremendous following on social media, and it's going to give us a ton of exposure. Now here's Trevor with our financials.
Hey guys, let's go over some of the economics that we see. Our average monthly expenses are roughly about $1,700, with the majority of that being for insurance, which is about $1,200. We anticipate fuel costs, admin expenses such as our phone, iPad use to be able to do mobile check-ins, as well as any type of other repairs or miscellaneous items that come up. Taking a look at some of the pricing for our competition. So it ranges anywhere from $50 to $160 or from an hour to a 4-hour event. Once we do our survey, we're going to be able to figure out our pricing. We feel like we're going to be somewhere between the $50 to $100 range, And we're going to be roughly about an hour to an hour and a 15-minute ride. That's going to kind of put us right there in the middle towards the bottom area of the pricing as well as the timing. Raul talked about our targeted customers earlier. Out of those 448,000 tourists that visit Monterey each year, that equates to about 8,600 targeted guests that visit each week. Out of those 8,600 targeted guests, we are looking to get 40 to 50 riders on a weekly basis when we hit the ground running. Should we be able to get 40 riders? We're projecting roughly about $2,500 in revenue if we look at that red tier, which is about $75 for a ticket. Should we be able to get 50 riders? We're going to get about $3,750 per week in revenue. Fast forward to June through October. That's when we're going to be launching this year, and we are a seasonal business. We are looking at the 40 riders would be equivalent to $66,000 in revenue for the remainder of the year, up to $82,000 should we get those 50 riders. We feel like these numbers are very doable due to the fact that with 10 riders at a time, we can easily do these numbers in one day, let alone 1 week. Fast forward to next year. Again, we are a seasonal business. April through October is what we're looking for. We anticipate our rider share is going to go up anywhere from 60 to 80 riders. We feel like our social media is going to catch up. TripAdvisor, Yelp, it's all going to help us to be able to get that increased rider share. Should we get those 60 riders at that $75 ticket range, like we were talking about earlier, it's $140,000 in revenue. Should we get those 80 riders, that's going to be $186,000 in revenue for that year. Fast forward to 2023, again, a slight uptick in our rider share, anywhere from 80 to 100 riders, $186,000 in revenue, all the way up to about $232,000 in revenue should we reach 100 riders per week.
That's just absolutely outstanding, Trevor. Our initial investment of $25,000 and a whole lot of hard work has really gotten us to this point. If you were to have somebody build this engine on their own, it would cost well over $100,000. We'd have multiple investors approach us and have had denied them as we self-funded the entire expense to date. Here's a checklist of some of our accomplishments. We've created an LLC, gathered the appropriate permits and numbers, and 2 out of the 3 of us drive fire engines for a living. So not only do we have the correct licenses to drive a fire engine, but we have the correct and appropriate experience for this business. There's a picture right here in the right-hand corner. You might recognize that fella. That's our fellow partner, Corey McVeigh in the Los Angeles Times. Little do people know that us 3 built this fire engine from the ground up in a barn in Boulder Creek. During that time, the CZU fire happened, and Corey had to jump into action to not only save the community of Boulder Creek, but also save our business from going in flames. What's next for us? Finish out the build out of the engine, conduct our friends and family tour, get some Kodak moments and finish the website, connect with our local concierge, businesses, influencers, and riders. We also have some short-term and long-term strategies. Our short-term strategy, should we receive this funding, is to shore up our marketing, build local partnerships, get new tires and rims for the engine, and secure long-term storage. Right now, the engine's parked in my driveway, and although the kids in my neighborhood love the engine, my wife's pretty eager to get her parking spots back. Long-term strategy, hire additional firefighters as drivers, build out a second engine so we can do 2 things at once, expand to new territories such as Santa Cruz, San Luis Obispo. Sky's the limit, and look for franchise opportunities. Far too many firefighters nowadays are having to retire out due to PTSD and just the wear and tear of their bodies. This would be a perfect business for them to jump into. And here we have a mock-up of our Red Engine Rides engine. Fire Engine Red, of course, with our Red Engine Rides logo and our custom phone number that you'll never forget. 1-831-222-RIDE. Now that you know about us,
1 minute left for your
ready to
presentation.
ride
1
with
minute
Red
left.
Engine Rides.
Thank you for your pitch. I enjoy the enthusiasm there. That's admirable. Can you tell us about scheduling? If you have basically a moving billboard, then you're probably relying on a lot of last minute scheduling. So how do you do that?
Yeah, we anticipate getting some day of scheduling. For example, when we're driving down Cannery Row, somebody's going to see us and say, hey, I got to do that. The good thing is we're currently working with Peak Pro. And so it's an online mobile system that will allow anybody just to go onto our website really quickly. They can book a ride and they can take the next one in about an hour. So it's very convenient, easy to use. Plus, it allows us to be able to check them in mobily directly at the engine when they first get there, and it's super simple. Monterey Bay Food Tours, who is a previous winner of this competition, they're the ones who turned us on to them, and we couldn't be happier with them.
Thanks. And another quick question, that $75 ride that you show, how long is that ride for?
We anticipate it's going to be roughly about an hour to an hour and 15-minute ride based upon the tour that we're going to take. So that's kind of where we're going to be at, to where we can then turn over rides every hour and a half.
Okay. Thanks.
The question I had was, I didn't see in your expenses how you're going to be paid.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? How are we going to be paid now?
The question is, I didn't see any pay for the tour guide operators.
Oh, well, that's because we're going to be operating the fire engine ourselves. Initially, it's going to be the three of us operating the business, and two of us have Class B licenses to operate fire engines. So we're going to be the ones operating the business. And part of our plan to expand is to acquire and build out a second engine and hire additional drivers so that we can continue on more days of the week, especially when we're at our normal jobs.
So what happens if you have a birthday party and a fire at the same time and you're on duty?
Oh, so we've had multiple guys from different shifts ask if they can help, if they want to do something on the side. And so we'll hire them on as temporary contract workers. And so when I'm at work, we'll have somebody else who's on a different shift that's off, and they can go ahead and take care of the birthday parties or the tour or whatever that's going on that day.
And how about access for handicapped people?
Access for handicapped folks?
Mm-hmm.
You know, access for handicapped folks would be us. I think we're pretty burly men. We'll be able to help them get up those couple stairs. I think there's maybe 4 of them, and get them in there and make sure that they're secured with a safety belt and give them a wonderful ride.
That'd be worth the $75 right there.
I'm telling you. The engine is really big, so we can collapse their wheelchair or whatever things that they have and take it with us, so they have it with it secure, and then they can, we can give it to them when they get off.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We have 2 minutes left for Q&A. 2 minutes left.
Jeez. Hi, this is Pat Riley. Have you considered specialty events as opposed to just a routine tour, especially fundraisers for firefighting activities? Could be a. Oh, and I'll add to that. Why seasonal? Why are you insisting it's a seasonal business?
One, it's a seasonal business because we don't have the canopy right now. That's in development. As soon as we get the canopy going, it'll be an everyday business. Rain or shine. To touch up on your other question, we work a lot with the Burn Foundation, and what we're really looking forward is striving to provide, birthday parties and other events and auction it off to help raise money for like the Alicia Ann Roos Burn Foundation, which they educate young children on fire safety, fire prevention, and all those things. So it's not all about us. It's continuing to give back to the community. If there's nonprofits out there, we can give a gift certificate that they can auction off in their gala or whatever they're doing for a free ride.
Oh, by the way, thank you for being firefighters. Let me point that out. Thank you very much.
Oh,
for all your good work.
Thank you for saying that. We appreciate it.
You were going to say something?
I was going to say, we definitely want to work with other local organizations and things around here in order to be able to kind of promote that local business and be a part of the community as well. Yeah. So we understand, kids are looking at this engine and their eyes light up. They love it when we're driving down the street. So we definitely want to be there and be able to experience that and be a part of the community as well, and go to the events like that as well.
And if you don't mind to tag along what Trevor said, I think we're all in this together. Every business is, right? To make each other better. And if there's a business that is like, hey, I would really love for you guys to come down here just so our customers can see it, if we think it would help our business, we're more than happy to do that. I think we're all in this game together to be successful as one.
Time is now up for Q&A.
Okay, you've known for a while that social media for small business is important, but 2020 made it essential. Hi, I'm Lindsay Horton, the owner and social media expert behind Social Monterey. After 6 years in the corporate marketing world, I decided I wanted to do something that utilized my unique public relations and marketing background and also made an impact on our Monterey Bay community. So I started my own small business to help other small businesses thrive on social media. When it comes to small business, social media is playing an increasingly important role in their overall marketing strategy. Social media allows businesses to drive sales, provide customer service, build brand awareness, connect with their ideal customers or clients, and make connections in their local community, all from the convenience of their phone or computer. And after the COVID-19 pandemic, social media is the perfect outlet for small businesses to meet their ideal customer or clients exactly where they're hanging out. In fact, 70% of Americans say they're spending more time online than ever before. And not only that, but social media is just for the younger generation. In fact, more than 75% of Gen X and nearly 50% of baby boomers utilize social media in some way. And of those who are on social media, 90% say they purchase from brands and businesses they follow. The barriers to entry for small businesses have never been lower thanks to social media. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn provide small businesses with free access to a vast audience of potential customers or clients for any product, service, or business. And social media should be a no-brainer for small businesses, not just an afterthought. But 93% of small business owners struggle with the same common social media challenges, whether that be creating content, posting that content consistently, increasing their engagement, gaining new followers, or turning those followers into high-quality leads. And that's where Social Monterey comes in. Social Monterey helps small businesses save time, ditch the overwhelm, and build thriving online communities with social media services. We currently offer done-for-you and one-on-one services, including social media management, strategy, and consulting. And in fact, we've been able to help more than 20 small businesses since May of 2020. You might recognize a few of them here. But Social Monterey is looking to grow, scale, and expand our portfolio of services to ultimately help more small businesses succeed on social media. There are over 34,000 businesses in Monterey County alone, and according to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, 70% of small business owners are concerned about financial hardships due to the COVID-19 crisis. At a time when money is tighter than ever, social media can be a lifeline for many small businesses. And as they begin to reopen and recoup their losses from the last 18 months, many are looking for cost-effective ways to learn the skills for services they once would have outsourced. In fact, small businesses have increased their use of online learning by 900% since 2010. And with COVID-19, that trend has been magnified. And after combining this stat with my two most popular objections, it's too expensive and I can do it myself, I finally found the missing puzzle piece in helping small business owners succeed on social media. Which is why I'm launching Build Your Biz with Social, a 6-week social media course that brings small business owners back to social media basics. From helping them find out which platforms they should be spending their time on to identifying their ideal customer or clients, writing captivating content that converts and posting it consistently, we cover it all. Build Your Biz with Social provides small business owners with the tools for social media success in a way that is sustainable for their busy lifestyle, that's easy to implement, and is cost-effective to their bottom line. In 2020, I ran the first round of the Build Your Biz with Social framework in a live private course for Carmel Realty Company. After a 1-hour social media workshop, I pitched the course to 30 agents and had 8 sign up for the 6-week course. And after our 6 weeks, 8 agents felt more confident in utilizing social media to grow their business and personal brands. Not only that, but the course showed them that even though real estate is a heavily saturated market, that they could use social media to build a customized strategy that spoke to their ideal customer or client and ultimately help them stand out from the competition. What we found over the 6 weeks was that all students missed at least one of the live lessons due to scheduling conflicts. And though the students were focused during the lessons, they often needed more time to digest the content in order to have meaningful Q&A. So we often spent the time allotted for Q&A where the students would create connections, learn from each other, cheer each other on, and find out how they were all utilizing the same strategies in their own unique ways. So as we aim to reach and serve more businesses with Build Your Biz with Social, we're adapting the course. The course will be taught via online course platform to accommodate the busy schedules of small business owners across multiple industries. And instead of weekly live Zoom calls, we'll pare down to 3 live Q&A sessions where students can ask any questions they have after having ample time to digest the content. Not only that, but we're including access to an exclusive student-only Facebook group where students get me as their social media manager in their back pocket, but also can network and build community relations with other small businesses in the Monterey area. We will launch multiple lead magnets, including social media freebies and downloads, as well as free to low-cost webinars and workshops held monthly to build a list of qualified leads. We'll focus on social media, email marketing, and paid ads, as well as leveraging our established community partnerships with the Monterey Peninsula Chamber of Commerce, the Professional Women's Network of the Monterey Peninsula, and more. And the course will only be available.
Your presentation, 3 minutes left.
The course will only be available to create a sense of the course will only be available quarterly to create a sense of urgency, with the first round being launched in Q3 of 2021 at a course enrollment rate of $500. We'll be able to serve more businesses at a fraction of the time and a fraction of the cost of our done-for-you services, and small business owners will get the tools and resources to build their own sustainable social media strategy at 1/3 of the cost of our done-for-you service. In the last 8 months of 2020, we generated $6,415 in income and $4,042 in profit, with a net profit margin of 63%. And in 2021, in the first 4 months alone, we were able to double both our income and profit and ultimately increase our profit margin by 2%. So while we've seen exponential growth over the last 12 months, in our service-based offering, we're forecasting a conservative 1% month-over-month growth, as well as an initial launch of Build Your Biz with Social with 10 initial students and a growth rate of 10% per quarter, or an additional 1 to 2 participating businesses. In the graph, you can see that both our service-based income and course-based income, and how offering both provides a much higher upward trajectory of income than either on its own. And based on this forecast, Social Monterey expects to reach 6 figures by the end of 2022. For small businesses, there are many marketing services that you can employ, whether that be traditional marketing such as print and radio, general online marketing services, or something as specialized as social media marketing. And not only that, you can choose partners who work with a niche market or help you with mass marketing strategies.
You have 1 minute left for your presentation.
Social Monterey focuses on social media and not providing multiple marketing services. Therefore, we're able to provide expert level service and educational experiences for our clients. And as a sole proprietorship, we're able to operate with lower expenses and higher profit margins than a full service agency. Our online course also sets us apart in that we're meeting small businesses exactly where they need. I'm currently a team of 1, but would need to utilize a team to help me address my current clients as well as build out the course, which is why I'm asking for a $10,000 investment to help me build the online course and membership site to help small business owners learn the ins and outs of social media marketing. This would cover online course platform team and marketing costs, and we would only need 20 enrollments or 5/10,000ths of the current market share in Monterey County to break even. We expect to be able to break even by 2021 and provide investors with a 20% ROI by Q3 2022. Please help me in supporting our local community and small businesses through social media marketing. Let's get Social Monterey.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. We'll now give the judges 5 minutes for Q&A.
Okay.
Lindsay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
The name Social Monterey. I was just at a meeting in Gilroy, and it was Soledad Auto Parts. So I'm just wondering if by Social Monterey, you're kind of limiting yourself, because it seems like with your courses, especially, you could reach out much farther. And some of the fastest growing markets are in Southern Monterey County, where the population is in some of the cities is doubling and tripling. So have you given that any thought?
Sure. So for me, my philosophy, and the one that I share with my clients as well, is to always start local and grow outward. I'm really passionate about our local community. And I think that Monterey also encompasses not just Monterey, the city of Monterey, but can encompass Monterey County and beyond. I also have clients that are in the Bay Area currently, and as far down as Atascadero, San Luis Obispo area. So I haven't found yet that it is extremely limiting, but am open if it gets to that point to changing. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Well, Lindsay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I'd love to know what tools you're going to be teaching in the course. And I'd also love to see more about the specifics of the course in your presentation.
Okay. So the course covers everything from what platforms they should be on. It teaches them how to identify their ideal customer or client, how to engage on different platforms. We also go as deep into hashtag strategies and how to find their ideal hashtags to reach their ideal customer clients. There's also tutorials for things like Canva to create graphics, a mini paid ads tutorial. So it's really all encompassing for anyone who's even just starting. They could literally build from the bottom up.
Lindsay, I hear you, but I would love to see that written on the slides. These tools, these things, this, this curriculum subtopics.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little more about the relation between your customized services versus the course, and how you can build these so that these two revenue streams are supporting each other rather than cannibalizing each other?
Sure. So what I found actually in the beta test with Carmel Realty Company is that even though some of the agents took the course, they actually thought, this is actually a lot of work. And I can outsource it to Lindsay, who I've now built this relationship with over the last 6 weeks. And so I have gotten some clients from that as well. I think also the way that the course works is that, they get me as their social media manager in their back pocket. So maybe once after they've taken the course, they don't want to invest in full-time done-for-you social media management, but can do monthly consulting, such as helping them build out their content for the month at a much lower price. So it kind of funnels them into, hey, no matter what level of support you need after the course, I am here for you. And so I think that's kind of how the two work together.
Thanks.
We have 1 minute left for Q&A.
So I'll ask one more. It's a pretty crowded market with a lot of freelancers providing social media management, which drives down margins. Any response?
I will say that there is a large market generally. But what I found with my clients is that people are excited to work with someone local. Like, yes, you can outsource to maybe someone who is located somewhere else for a lower price. But what I have found, and the thing that I am prideful in building my business on, is the local community. And I found that people have really responded to that, because it's hard to work with someone who doesn't know all the special things about Monterey or about the tourism industry here, or what potential customers and clients locally might be looking for. So I think
Q&A is now up.
Thank you. Thank you all for allowing me this opportunity to talk to you about my company, Dirty Solar. My name is Jagdeep Agarwal, and I'm the founder of Dirty Solar. So today's agenda will cover several aspects of this company, including executive summary, project overview. I'll mention the problem statement, which I think is very key to understanding what problem we're trying to solve. Talk about a solution that we're presenting and recommendations. I'll then discuss our business model that we've got, and then talk about our special sauce that makes our company totally unique. I'll then discuss our go-to-market, and then mention about our competition. I'll present our financial statement, and then talk about our timelines and strategy for getting this company completely up and running. I'll finally present the team, and then if there's time, I'll talk about our challenges and questions. So, executive summary. We are developing an app to tell homeowners when it's cost effective to clean their dirty panels. Our ability to model array performance without any physical or mechanical device is unique. The platform is unique in coupling homeowners with cleaners and thereby creating a whole new industry around the solar panel cleaning. We're looking for $150,000 to build a platform in order to develop a business with potential earnings of over $10 million. Project overview. So over the course of a year, panels tend to get dirty from atmospheric dust fallout. This is often exacerbated by fires and high wind events. That can result in as much as a 20% loss in solar efficiency. Now, rainstorms might assist in cleaning some of these panels, but in California and other states for that matter, we tend not to have too much rain in the summer. So that means that there is very little cleaning that goes on for those solar panels. So the panels get dirty. And the challenge is, when should you clean them? Now, so cleaning the panels too often will result in a net loss of cost from cleaning them. Cleaning the panels too infrequently will result in a net loss of power generation. So what is the optimized time to be cleaning these solar panels? This is where Dirty Solar comes in. So our solution is developing an app to inform homeowners when it's cost effective to clean panels. This app will link cleaners with homeowners in providing a seamless platform with which to get the panels cleaned. Dare I tell you, no one else is doing this? And the potential size of the market is at least $200 million and increasing fast. And the potential revenue to Dirty Solar is $10 billion. So in this figure, I've got a mock-up of what that app might show. It might show how much power has been generated. And what's also very important is how much power could have been generated. From that, you can actually calculate what your loss is economically by having dirty panel. In addition, we'll be able to show what the array health is. So there may be fails in the panels, the inverters, or even the microinverters. So we can give the homeowner a very quick glance of whether their array is performing well, or in fact they have a problem that might initiate a warranty. So here I've got a figure over the last 2 decades of net power generation in millions of kilowatts. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this type of figure before, but there's no question about it that solar is really taking off and is in exponential growth. I think we're in a classic time to be able to capitalize on that growth by developing this whole new industry around solar cleaning. So our business model revolves around 3 forms of revenue. Homeowners will pay an annual subscription to use the platform. Cleaners will pay for advertising on the platform. And Dirty Solar will take a 5% cut on all cleaning transactions. Homeowners will get a referral credit for each new subscription they generate. And the value to the customer is really getting the best value for their money out of their expensive investment of their solar array. When we break down those sources of revenue, you can see that 50% of our revenue will come from homeowner subscription. 17% will come from cleaner advertising, and the remainder, 33%, will be a result of the cut from cleaning. So what's our special sauce? What's making us different? This platform will integrate over all different brands of inverters. Inverters are those devices that convert the direct current from the solar panel into alternating current. There are over a dozen different manufacturers of those inverters in the US, and each different inverter has their own app. So there is no single platform that covers all of these different inverters. So that makes our platform unique in covering all the different brands of inverters. We also have a provisional patent submitted, with a full patent being submitted later this year. What also makes our app unique and part of our special sauce is the algorithm is able to reduce the noise from the weather in order to better model the actual rate performance without using an external device. When you go through the patent literature, you will find an inordinate number of devices that you can attach to your panel that measures how much solar radiation that panels are receiving, but they also have to be clean. So there's an inherent flaw with that. Or you could buy some type of windshield wiper for your panels. They are stunningly expensive and prohibitive for anyone in the domestic market. So what's our go-to-market? We've already performed market surveys in several different areas of the US, including LA, Fresno, San Jose, and home, Santa Cruz. And from that, we've decided on a number of different strategies for go-to-market. Our initial clients will be friends and family, and then subsequent clients will be by referrals, making use of the social media platforms such as Facebook and especially Nextdoor. Our cost for acquiring initial customers will be low, but once we've reached a reasonable level of saturation on there, our next acquisitions will be by door tags in areas of high solar array density. And we expect that the cost of acquisition of those customers could be as much as $1 per customer.
You have 3 minutes left for your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Competition. To be honest with you, there is none. We have no competition. Sunrun have a service including maintenance, but that's only for Sunrun customers. Other solar installers may have similar type of platform for their customers, but there is nothing out there that looks at all different solar panels with all different inverters. So this is a completely untapped market. Our financial projections show that in year one, we'll be making a loss of $111,000, but in year two, we start to become cash positive. In year 3 and 4, we start to make significant cash rates. Our year one, we have a significant amount of R&D as we develop the platform with our software developer. So that's going to be most of our cost in year one. Then it's just going to be maintenance on that. So here's a graph showing net cash flow. As you can see, sometime in 2023, we will be cash positive. Like all good projects, it always deserves a timeline and a project plan. So this is the project plan that we're on, and currently we're on track with all the bits that need to get done. We should have everything ready to go by October, November time. So our strategy. This is more looking at our exit strategy. Ideally, we want the company to continue to grow, but during that growth period, we'll always be open to any acquisition at any time. Our immediate needs are $150,000 in seed money to proceed with developing the app.
You have 1 minute left for your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Our team consists of myself, Jagdeep. I've worked in the solar industry and have established a previous company before. Suzanne Cunningham, she's head of sales and marketing with over 20 years of experience. And our advisors include Bruce Hackman, who developed his own solar manufacturing company, Kelly Bartz, Director of Marketing, and Gavin Friedland, Director of Software. Thank you for your time. I'm open for any questions, or if you'd like leader questions, I can put this slide up.
May I lead with the questions?
Yes, please, sir.
I want to point out that your terminology about patents is a little sloppy. You have a provisional patent application pending, not a provision. There is no such thing as a provisional patent.
Okay, we have, I think you're right. Thank you for correcting me on that. We submitted an application for a provisional patent.
Right, and you should change that on the slide. I'm a patent attorney, so don't feel bad. I'm a pro with this little. And then in your competitive advantage, you say our patent protected proprietary algorithm. That's not true. It's not patent protected.
That is correct. It will be, hopefully it will be protected once we submit the full patent in and it gets approved.
Yes, so you need to delete patent protected.
Okay.
And because that's actually a serious, and I know this is innocent, but it could be a serious misrepresentation, unintentional, but there. And you don't want to say full patent. You want to say non-provisional patent application.
Ah.
There are provisional applications, there are non-provisional applications, and then there are patents. And even a patent attorney will mix them up in casual conversation. But for the formal presentation, you need to get that tightened up.
Thank you, sir.
On the marketing side, I'm a little worried that most homeowners would just say like, oh, you want to pitch me on cleaning my panels? I'm not going to pay you for that. I mean, if you're going to pitch me. That's one point. Secondly, how do you acquire the data? It's not clear to me. How do you find out? How do you get the input data to make the determination?
All right. So the way you acquire data is that you can make these things called API calls to the solar inverter company. When you do that, you basically pull data of the array performance.
Okay.
Now, that is, for many of the solar inverter companies, that is free. Some companies will charge you about ½ cent per call, and we need maybe 1 or 2 calls per week to pull that data.
Okay. All right. That answers that. I just didn't know how you did it mechanically, so to speak. Like, are there any privacy rights issues there? And then I'll be quiet. Then I'll pass on to the other judges.
Not really. Some of the guts with doing this is that what we do is we ask the homeowner for their API key, and that gives us the right to interrogate and get data about their array performance. If the homeowner does not grant us that API key, we cannot collect any data.
Okay. Alrighty, so let me be prepared to answer how you're going to protect that data. You've got somebody who knows what they're doing, and I will be quiet now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
As somebody who has solar on my home and my office, I know that we clean it with a hose.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you for a second. I can't hear you very well. Could you speak up, please?
Yes. As somebody who has solar on my home and my office, we clean it with a hose. It takes about 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not sure as a homeowner, I would be happy to pay a cleaning service to come and do the same thing.
Ah, so this is some of the stuff that I found out in my market research, and looking at clients from all parts of the US. There are 3 types of people. There are people like yourself who will clean, but they will clean with a hose and water. Now, hose and water is not too bad, but really you want to put some soap on it as well. You have another group of people who say, oh, I didn't know I should be cleaning my solar panels. And then you have a third group of people who say, yeah, I know I should be cleaning my panels, but it's on a 2nd-story roof and I'm not prepared to do that.
So, and which of those groups is your main customer base?
You know, it really depends upon the demographics. Some people, right now with my base of over 50 people that I've done my market research, it's almost even between all 3 categories. and trying to model what that's really going to look like once you've got the whole infrastructure set up is not clear. I'll give you another important example in this is when you look at dirt on a solar panel, it's almost identical to the same dirt on a car. Now, you can get away with cleaning your car by just spraying a hose on it, but you know that spraying a hose on it is going to remove some of the dirt, but you're still going to get quite a bit of grime on it that you need to use with some effort, such as soap and maybe a sponge. So it really does indicate that to do a proper job and really ensure highest performance.
Sorry, Jagdeep, we have to stop now.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Well, good morning, everyone. We are iiED Gaming. My name is Andres Castellanos.
I'm Alec Cortez.
We also have David Segura, and my name is Elias Tapia, and we are all senior business students at CSUMB.
So as a team of lifelong gamers, throughout the years, we have been able to identify 3 major problems that we are planning to solve with our platform. The first one being that gamers are yet to have a platform to begin their esports journey. We have done research on our target market by conducting interviews to college students who are active streamers on Twitch. By doing so, we learned that unanimously, they did not know how to try out for pro league teams or which tournaments they should participate in. This is one of the main problems we are facing head on. Secondly, finding like-minded individuals online to play ranked matches with is not easily accessible or streamlined. This problem is a common occurrence for gamers worldwide due to the fact that if your friends happen to be busy on a specific day, you are exposed to the risk of playing with random toxic players on your team. I am sure that any gamer listening to this presentation has had the experience of having a teammate purposely lose the game for some small reason. This can be extremely frustrating and has even caused some players to uninstall their games in some extreme cases. Lastly, there are not a lot of options for gamers to gain exposure. Currently, there are approximately 214 million gamers in the United States alone, but only about 8,000 professional gamers worldwide. This shows the high barrier of entry to become a professional esports player and how beneficial it can be to gain any exposure. So in order to solve these problems, our online gaming platform will have 4 critical functions. The first one being that we will host weekly and monthly tournaments that will help retain our customers as well as incentivize others to participate. The weekly tournaments will allow our players to establish their rank on our very own ranking system, which is what truly differentiates us from our competition. The way it works is that as they play the weekly tournaments, they will either increase or decrease their rank. This will then determine which monthly tournament they are able to participate in, and the higher the rank, the higher the rewards. Our hope is that in the future, we will be able to reach out to professional teams to possibly scout some players in the higher ranked tournaments. Secondly, we are implementing a queuing system that will allow players to find like-minded individuals real time to play their everyday ranked matches. In order to find competent teammates, they will simply have to click on the Find Teammates button on our website, and we will redirect them into a chat room where they can strategize with the teammates real time in order to avoid any of that toxicity previously discussed. This is a differentiating factor as none of our competition offer this service. Lastly, in order for our users to gain that exposure we are promising, we are going to highlight the top performing players on our homepage, on our app, and dedicate them a post on our social media as well. Now, I will go over our go-to-market strategy. First, we plan on reaching out to streamers and content creators that have smaller communities. This is going to be our main focus as they are going to be more likely and more willing to try our platform during our proof of concept stage and truly help speed the process of raising awareness of our company. The proof of concept entails us creating a beta platform during our first year with which we can actively modify it depending on the feedback we receive weekly. This is beneficial to iiED Gaming because it helps ensure its successful launch. Secondly, iiED Gaming would seek out partners with local colleges and universities that are looking to raise awareness to their program. This provides additional viewership for the college team and additional advertisement and credibility for our platform. For instance, Rocket League, which is an extremely popular car soccer video game, has college tournaments that average around 30,000 viewers on Twitch. If we are able to secure these teams, we will then be able to have them compete in our tournaments, which will inevitably help aid gaming in the long run. Lastly, what's truly going to differentiate us from our competition is that ranking system that we are going to implement into our tournaments that I briefly discussed. This incentivizes the customers to participate as well as retain them for longer periods of time. You're muted, Alec.
For iiED Gaming, our revenue generation will consist of recurring monthly subscriptions from paying members that we will split up into 2 tiers in the beginning stages. The first tier will be $1.99 and remove click-to-link ads on our website to simply improve quality of life on our platform. The second tier will encompass the no ads as well as cover the entry cost of our smaller cash prize tournaments. For our non-subscribing members, to enter our tournaments, they will pay an upfront entry cost of $10 to $15 depending on the payout of the event. And lastly, from non-subscribing members, we will be generating roughly 20 cents per ad clicked on our website. Next, we will be discussing iiED Gaming's competition. There's a lack of major competition in North America, where the video game industry is a $36 billion market. However, the 2 companies that we identified that will likely compete against us in Europe are Esl Gaming and FACEIT. ESL is a well-established gaming league that was founded in Cologne, Germany, and it focuses on hosting tournaments with its own leagues. It has a quality stat tracker for players and anti-cheating system, but does not incorporate an integrated ranking system for each player like our platform. FACEIT is the second company that we identified to be a direct competitor, and they are based in London, United Kingdom. It has a subscription-based model as well, and is also fairly established in the industry by hosting quality gaming tournaments for its community. However, it also lacks an integrated ranking system. Lastly, in order to clarify where we stand against our competition in this newer industry, we are trying to be a gaming league that hosts competitions of pre-existing video games. For example, instead of competing with the makers and games of the consoles themselves, we are competing with the leagues that host them. For our financial projections in our first year, to be specific, since we will be able to outsource our website and software development, it will take $3,000 to create our website as a proof of concept in the first year, and $10,000 to be able to hire a software developer. We want to also be aggressive with our marketing to attract as many long-term subscribers as possible. Therefore, we want to put $40,000 into our marketing, mainly attracting small to medium community-sized streamers and content creators. For our first tournament, we want our cash prize to be $5,000 to give excitement and incentivize customers to use our platform. Also, our subscribers will either pay $199 or $699 per month. And with these numbers, we are able to project our revenue from subscriptions alone. And in the first year, we plan to have 2,000 subscribers, generating $14,000 in revenue in the first year, 10,000 subscribers by year 2, generating $70,000. Year 3, we want 100,000 subscribers, generating $700,000. And by year 4, we want 500,000 subscribers, generating $3.4 million in revenue by the end of year 4.
You have 3 minutes left for your presentation.
These projections do not include the extra revenue generated from any money from cash prize tournaments, as well as from our non-subscribers who will generate roughly 20 cents per ad click.
Having a strong team is important for iiED Gaming, and based on our financial projections, we have decided to allocate some of our funds towards acquiring the following: an IT personnel or software developer. This will allow us to create a unique website for our customers. A marketing expert will allow us to actively engage with others through social media, and partnering with content creators. Becoming partners with creators allows for more exposure to a variety of fan bases. iiED Gaming has accomplished quite a bit, and we still have many goals that we are passionately striding towards. We have initiated the process of creating a very basic prototype, but our next step will be to have a fully functioning website with a complementary app that will always keep you updated in the world of gaming. Our next accomplishment was discovering our target market. Now that we are able to target our social media campaigns towards individuals aged 15 to 28 years old, However, we would like to learn more about our consumers by doing things such as online surveys to explore new and exciting ways to differentiate our business from the competition. Our most recent accomplishments involve our team establishing the necessary skills and requirements in order for us to successfully run our business and create a competitive advantage. Our next step will entail us contracting a software developer to really emphasize our vision for the future of gaming.
You have 1
We are
minute
iiED Gaming.
presentation.
Bring your skills, we'll take care of the rest. Thank you for listening, and the floor is open for questions.
Thank you so much. We're now going to give the judges 5 minutes for Q&A.
So great pitch. I'm going to expose my ignorance of this sector a bit as a non-gamer, but it's a little confusing to me to follow in that what are you selling? Are you selling matchmaking for gamers for tournaments, or are you organizing tournaments, including matchmaking?
We're organizing tournaments, including matchmaking. So essentially, we'll have our own tournaments, and that will be for the gamers who want to get that exposure, be part of the weekly ranking system, as well as the more casual gamers who don't really want to take it to the competitive, but they still play the competitive part of the games. And in that aspect, you really just want to find players that you really just want to depend on and that aren't really going to throw your personal rank in the game away. So that matchmaking is really to be able to get teammates for the everyday player, as well as setting up tournaments.
Just to further clarify what he's trying to say is that there's a lot of, just like us, everyday gamers, when they want to play, let's say a very popular game, for example, Valorant, if they want to reach the highest level of ranking system possible, it is very important for you to have a full team of like-minded individuals for you guys to be able to strategize and be able to get to that level. However, if you're playing up by yourself without being able to find those like-minded individuals, it is almost impossible to be able to reach those highest levels of rank in your favorite video game.
Thanks.
My question is, what does AAD mean? And if I'm a gamer, does that automatically mean tournament?
Oh, no. Well, the name and the logo is still subject to change. We're the newest company possibly in this competition, as this all started from a project in our class this semester. However, don't let that steer you away. We are extremely passionate about this project, and this is we're fully passionate about it.
I would really urge you to think through the name. And the second question I had was weekly maintenance and launching of tournaments and rewarding of prizes. This is pretty labor intensive stuff. And I know some of it can be automated, but that's a lot of hours especially as you scale up your customer base. So, and I didn't see payroll anywhere.
That's true, and as we had mentioned, we are planning to outsource this to Mexico, as I will be there full time in order to fully work on this full time, and through that's why we put those numbers like 10,000, and that's due to the fact that we are outsourcing this, and I already found a team in Mexico that is willing to work with us full time with this. We will be able to. Those numbers are mostly due to the fact that we're outsourcing it. And
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, I need to ask, how does the numerical rankings get set? Do the games themselves do the ranking, or do you do the ranking?
So that's still something that's in the works. As we work with a software developer, we're going to figure out how to have our own ranking system. However, it's mostly going to be based off of the ranking system that's already established in the most popular games out there. The way that it would be set is we would allow players to fill out a questionnaire that they will determine what rank they're already in their favorite game, and that will determine where they're placed. And from there on, we would just have we will develop an algorithm for our own ranking system and our own platform.
Okay, well, that seems pretty key. So I think in your presentations going forward, you should try to give more meat on that.
We will. Thank you for the information.
And by the way, I do know you're facing a huge need. Although I worry about people who spend 12 hours a day gaming, but they're out there. That's for sure.
More than you think.
The video game industry has been increasing exponentially since its inception in the early 2000s, and it is only going to continue expanding. As recently, more people actually watched League of Legends World Final than they did the Super Bowl. So this industry is growing, and it will continue to grow. And they're already building stadiums, I believe, in Canada for professional events as well. So
Time for Q&A is now over.